The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These 60 plus combined years of experience have made them experts in the field, or at least they sure think so. Join them this week as they talk about something from the wonderful world of Nintendo. You're listening to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 99, and I'm your host, David. Leaky should be a Pokemon name. I'm accompanied with James.
Let's go, Bidoof!
As well as Skylar.
Team Eevee all the way!
And for the first time in a while, Jordan.
Pika!
Wow,
Yeah.
it's like Pikachu's here with
Better
us
catch
right
him now.
Wow, that was so accurate to the movie.
Didn't Pikachu talk in the movie?
In the new one,
I
yes.
love you, or whatever. I don't even know what he says.
Yeah, it was really weird.
That's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah. So this week has got some Pokemon stuff, as well as a lot of rumors. It's been rumor central like this past week, and we're going to talk about it. But before we do, just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page. These episodes are going up early as a reward for those that support us. So check that out at patreon.com/Nintensity. And if you want to talk about these episodes with us, you can all come join us on our Discord community at ninten.city/Discord. Anyway, let's leak our main topic. So let's start with the Pokemon rumors. So a 4chan user has supposedly linked some new details about the latest Pokemon Switch title. And before we start getting all these hate comments that are like, but it was just a 4chan user, a bunch of other, I'm doing air quotes, you can't see them, credible leakers confirmed, also in air quotes, some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. Anyway, this 4chan user revealed a logo for the game that's called Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. There will also be a second version featuring Eevee, and these games are going to take place in Kanto. The original Red and Blue will play a role in the story, but the avatar, player, character, and the rival will be brand new. So that's kind of what we got. The leak also says that there will be a Pokemon Go integration of some sort, and that catching Pokemon will be similar to the way that you catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go. But again, these are rumors, and we're just going to talk about them a little bit. So what does everyone think about this?
I mean, I was definitely put off by it at first. Or maybe I'm still a little put off by it. But the fact that it's returning to Kanto, great. Love it. I love the idea of remaking it. And I've also heard that it's like a remake of Yellow version. I mean, that's from the 4chan leak itself, but that hasn't really been confirmed by other people. But that would be cool as well. I guess where I'm really apprehensive about is the Pokemon Go integration. And I'm not against Pokemon Go like having compatibility with this game, like you get to keep your Pokemon Go. That's not the issue here. The issue is where they changed the gameplay to match that of Pokemon Go, and that's what this leak is supposedly indicating. And that's
but what does that even mean?
Fair, yeah. What does that mean?
Because the game has to be designed to work in dock mode, or at least I'd hope it has to be designed with dock mode in mind. So it's not like you're going to be swiping on your screen to throw a Pokeball. Like maybe that's an option, but I think what it really means is that there's going to be motion controls involved, because there's that device that comes with that you can use with Pokemon Go, that wrist strap or whatever that has like motion sensors, so you can pretend like you're throwing a Pokeball. I think that's all they really mean with it catches Pokemon like in Pokemon Go, because there's no way they're getting rid of the battle system to weaken the Pokemon. There's really no reason to do that.
Of course there's no reason, but I mean,
they just need to do the bare minimum to try and like advertise to the Pokemon Go crowd that, oh, hey, this is also sort of like Pokemon Go, so you'll have some relation to this. But I don't think it would be that intrusive, to be quite honest. But you never know. It is Nintendo. This is the same team that made Star Fox Zero with mandatory motion controls.
Right. No, I mean, I'm a little off put as well. I do love the whole idea of going back to Kanto and all that stuff. That sounds absolutely awesome. But like, I just feel if they were going to do the Pokemon Go integrations, that should have like happened a while ago, even though it is very difficult to do. I realize that. And the 3DS wasn't built to do that kind of thing. I don't know. It's just Pokemon Go.
So like put it in Sun and Moon?
Yeah, I mean, like in that generation or something.
Because there was only 2 games in that generation, and Sun and Moon came out right after Pokemon Go.
Right. No, I know it did. What I mean is like, I don't know, for how long Pokemon Go has been out and how like the interest has just died down, at least among like the people that I know, they should have tried to do something like this sooner. That's what I'm trying to get at.
So here's the big thing about that, though. Is would they have decided to do this decision? Was it at the height of Pokemon Go's popularity?
Yeah, probably.
Also, I think the popularity of Pokemon Go in Japan would have a lot more influence than the popularity of Pokemon Go in Middle America, like where we are. So,
well, I will say this.
I don't know. I think your experience is just a bit too anecdotal.
Yeah, that's totally true.
Yeah, I agree mostly with that. However, Pokemon Go is not nearly as popular in Japan as it is in America.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean,
because I've heard the opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. But I can only hear about it from secondhand sources. There's a bunch of YouTubers I follow that live in Japan, and they say it's all the rage there.
Well,
and still
then
is.
Maybe you know more than I do, because I'm just following my friends on Twitter, who
live in Japan, right? So you would probably have more information than I would. I'm just following like a handful of people, and you have far more people that you know there.
I mean, I imagine there are still people playing it just like they are here, but games like Grand Blue Fantasy and Fire Emblem Heroes are still just particularly Fire Emblem Heroes is still quite a phenomenon in Japan. I mean,
it could also just be different age groups too, because from what I've heard, not only just here in America, but also in Japan, I've just heard that it's a lot more popular with people in like the 30 to 50 age range now than the younger groups.
You know what? That's actually, I'll be on the train and I see these older ladies all playing Pokemon Go on their phone. So it's that's actually not too far off.
Which I don't think those are the kind of people that would switch to a Nintendo Switch to play Pokemon, no matter how. Pokemon Go just sort of like scratches a different itch than what the mainline Pokemon series does. And that's mainly it's being a social game where you go out and have just access to your phone. I don't imagine that many people are going to transition from Pokemon Go to the Nintendo Switch. And they're probably just chasing the wrong crowd. But I don't know.
Well, I think it's really interesting too, because you were saying earlier today, Jordan, that like you thought this like Let's Go Pikachu at the end kind of felt more like a spin-off game than a main entry, which I could definitely see them doing another Pokemon spin-off game, especially if they want to try to tap into that crowd, if they want to make a spin-off game for them.
What this sounds like to me, because it has the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu edition, it's not even Pikachu version, it's Pikachu edition. The way like the wording, it screams like we're getting sandwiched between rumors between 2 different Pokemon games that are scheduled to come out this year. Where we're getting a mainline Pokemon game and a spin-off Pokemon game that's supposed to be more, lower barrier of entry for Pokemon Go users.
Yeah, I think that could be it.
This. I don't understand why they would have that Let's Go added in and sort of just fly in the face of the branding they've done for the last 20 years, considering Pokemon is really, really conservative with their branding and always has been.
Right, and the popularity of Pokemon has been so huge. I think that it would be a huge mistake if they really tried to change up too much at once. Like some people are afraid that they're going to do with this new version or new game, new spinoff, whatever it is. So for now, I will take that approach where, no, we're getting 2 different types of Pokemon games, a spinoff and then a mainline game. And if it is, that case, then I could totally see the spinoff coming out this year year, and then Pokemon Switch coming out next year or something like that.
It's also interesting because this is being backed by, I believe, Emily Rogers, right?
Right.
Everyone's like, oh, Emily Rogers is usually correct. But she also has backed Pokemon rumors earlier this year that just fly in the face of this, such as that one where it's a new mainline Pokemon game about a boy growing up in a jungle or something. But so I don't know. I think we might be seeing multiple Pokemon projects, and that's never been new for Pokemon to do in a single year.
I mean, we just got Detective Pikachu, but Nintendo pushes out these side project Pokemon games fairly often, right? Isn't it like 1 or 2 a year on average?
I have no idea. Someone would have to look at the data and figure that out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't buy it. And if it is the real mainline series, I don't even think Pokemon Go will have that much integration to it. They still have to appease to their traditional fan base. And if they're going back to Kanto, the main appeal is the nostalgia for the Gen 1ers. And I don't think they want to kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
and I was also thinking about the integration with Pokemon Go, just real quick. Like, if anything, the most integration they need to have with Pokemon Go to say that it has integration is finally letting us transfer our Pokemon Go Pokemon to the mainline games. Right. That's like it. And they said that didn't they say that we'd be able to do that at one point with Pokemon Go?
I have no idea.
No, they did. That was mentioned, as well as trading and everything.
They said a lot of things that they haven't done yet. So
they just need to have enough Pokemon Go integration to just have like that market PR speak to get so it can be in the advertisements.
Right.
True.
Yeah, and I think that transferring Pokemon is the bare minimum to have that that accomplished.
Along with maybe your wrist strap can work for the motion controls with the Switch. I don't know.
I want Pokewalker functionality. Dang it.
Maybe they add in the Pokewalker functionality and you can take your Pokemon off the Switch to your Pokemon Go and level them up through their awful leveling up system on the Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's terrible leveling.
Exactly.
And that's something I'd be like terribly worried about, is if in this game they go to that leveling system. Not saying that's what this indicates. It's just when we're talking about gameplay similar to Pokemon Go, to me that's kind of a worrisome territory. But if this was just you get Pokemon from Pokemon Go and maybe there's some sort of Pokewalker thing like you guys are talking about, but then the rest is just a remake, a whole redo of Kanto with a new story and everything, that'd be great. Fine, perfect.
Yeah.
Skylar, what do you think about this? Like, is this something that interests you, or is this kind of like off-putting?
Well, I don't want it to happen, to be honest, about the Pokemon Go integration. Trading it may be fine. I don't really use Pokemon Go anymore, but I don't want to throw my Pokeballs by sliding my finger on the screen or doing motions with my hand to throw Pokeballs.
I think it would be entirely optional. I hope it's entirely optional.
I would hope so too, but
be optional.
But like you said, Star Fox Zero is a thing. So I'm not.
It's not even just Star Fox Zero. I can name like probably 20 off the top of my head that Nintendo's done something.
Nintendo's been pushing the motion control thing really hard.
They've slowed down the Switch.
Arms and Splatoon, man. Everybody tells me, man, you got to play it with the motion controls. You're playing it wrong. It seems like. So I don't know. Yeah,
but at least they were optional in Arms and Splatoon.
True.
That wasn't the case with a lot of Wii and Wii U games.
Yeah, that's very true. So I hope that's the case. But honestly, I would like a remake. But not. I don't know. I don't want it to be like super Pokemon Go heavy. So I kind of wanted my console Pokemon game to be different than my phone Pokemon experience.
So I actually don't want this to be a remake. I want this to be kind of a continuation, a sequel to Pokemon Red and Blue.
Oh, yeah.
That would be nice.
In that sense, yes.
I want like Team Rocket's and Shambles slowly coming back together. You hear more about like Giovanni's story, kind of like put more story elements into the characters of Pokemon.
You mean like
Koga's still part of the Elite Four.
You mean Gold and Silver?
Johto is part of the region. Like it just treats Johto as the same region as Kanto.
So are you thinking like timeline wise, if that's a thing that you can do in Pokemon very well, are you saying like it should be between Red and Blue and Gold and Silver? Like between those two?
It should be after Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Okay.
So Red's an adult at this point.
That'd actually be really cool. like
That'd be way
post-
after Gold and Silver.
Okay, so post heading off to the mountainside and being a loner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, on top of this, go to Mount Silver and have gold be there instead of red, and have
that'd be
red be off doing something different.
I'd love that. Holy cow.
The other big thing, I want them to completely redefine the map of Kanto. I don't want hard right like paths and all that stuff. I don't want tile sets. I want it to feel more like kind of like how Sun and Moon were feeling, where it's more of a world going on.
Yeah.
And my big fear with having a Kanto remake is Kanto's really small. It's really, really tiny.
Yes, it is.
Compared to other regions, which it should be larger than Alola. Alola is just 4 tiny islands out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So bring in the Sevi Island or the Orange Islands, bring in the Sevi Islands, bring in Johto.
Make the cities as big as they appear in the freaking anime, right?
Yeah.
Kanto's supposed to have freaking Tokyo in it. I mean, that's what in Japan, Kanto is Tokyo. So get a city like Saffron City, make it huge. That's what I'm saying. That's what I want to see.
Yes, please.
We need a Shibuya crossing and everything.
That would be great.
So
Make it so Pallet Town has more than 2 houses.
Yeah.
The homeless problem in Pallet Town has got to be horrible. There's at least 20 or 25 people there.
They're all under the same
I only saw
house,
one.
you know?
They're all living in Oak's lab.
no, they're living on Red's lawn or in his backyard. So, any other thoughts on this Pokemon stuff before we move on? We've got a couple of other topics we can.
So
cover.
I will definitely be on Team Eevee. I'll be very upset if they make it so Pikachu cannot evolve like he couldn't in Yellow version, and then they're like, "We'll also do that to Eevee and
that
make
would
it so
suck.
Eevee can't evolve."
Please don't do that. Please don't.
The unevolvable Eevee.
Eevee's adorable, but come on.
If they do have an Eevee version, they better add in a few more evolutions. Not even just one, a few more, at least 3.
Yeah, give us our dark and rock types already. Dang
We
it.
need your Eevee to faint at level
I meant
13.
ghost, not dark. Ghost.
We need your Eevee to evolve to die at level 13 or faint at level 13 and come back as ghost type.
I want the bug Eevee.
Yes, Bug Eevee would be great too.
Come Beevee.
Just fill out the rest of the type table with Eevees, please, Nintendo. Or
At
Pokemon
least,
Company.
like-
just do it.
Yeah, just fill out the entire type here. Type chart. That's a lot of Eevees, but who cares? If the entire version is based off of Eevee, so and make it so that they're evolved through evolutionary stones. Don't do stupid evolutionary things.
Nope.
Like you did with Glaceon.
Sorry, in order to get the rock type, you have to evolve
Throw
it next
rocks
to this
at it.
very specific rock. Yeah, throw rocks at it. You can only get this evolution in the Safari Zone because you throw the rock at it and it evolves suddenly before your eyes, and then you can catch it.
If you hug your Eevee enough, it'll become a Dwagon.
If you throw your Eevee off of this cliff, it becomes a flying type.
Just do what you did in Pokemon Snap and throw it into the lava, and then it'll turn into a dragon. Just like they did with Charmeleon and Charizard.
Yeah.
Well, great.
But not Charmander. He just boiled.
Yeah.
Charmander dead.
Charmander.
Charmeleon, Charizard.
Well, great. So that's our discussion on Pokemon. Let's go Pikachu and let's go Eevee. Let's talk briefly about some other weird online rumors that may or may not be fake. I mean, of course, all of these rumors may or may not be fake. I don't know why I had to say that. But this comes from 4chan and was revealed, like a couple of weeks before Nintendo dropped.
Not a couple weeks. It was like 6 days before
6 days?
Nintendo Online service came out.
Okay. But so before the online service came out, they were like, oh, Nintendo's going to give us details about their online service on May 7th. So boom. And then also said that the service goes live on September 24th and gave us a bunch of information on that stuff. But they also had some other things to say about Virtual Console, where GBS games, NES games, and N64 games will be made available in late 2018, early 2019. They also mentioned Nintendo's E3 plans a little bit. It'll be 36 minutes long, and it'll only focus on Switch titles, where Treehouse will be used to announce the upcoming 3DS titles. The first big reveal that we'll have is Spyro Trilogy coming to Switch, which is That sounds great. I'd love to have that. Then they'll talk about Fire Emblem, and the title will be Lustrous Daybreak coming holiday.
Please. Gosh.
It's better than the Revenge of the Waifus. That's what I named it.
To be honest, it's not far off.
Yeah. After that, they'll say Yoshi will be presented next, subtitled Flipped Around, and has the same amiibo functionality as Woolly World. So costumes and such mostly. Then a new Paper Mario game will be next and is not being developed by Intelligent Systems. And it goes back to the traditional partner style gameplay, but still heavily features character limitations imposed for Sticker Star and Color Splash. Like, that sounds dumb. I want the traditional partner style back, but if they have the character limitations imposed by Sticker Star and Color Splash, no thanks.
What does that mean? Does that mean like your partners are toads? Like what?
Yes.
They're just
you
all
got cool blue toad.
They are all different colored toads.
and then they can all like merge together into one rainbow toad that's overpowered.
Gosh.
But you have to find every color toad that's ever existed. And it's hard to do. I don't know.
And they all have the same personality, sarcastic.
Yes. Perfect. That'll be the best game. Up next in the presentation that they said is Mario Odyssey DLC, which honestly I think makes sense that they'd release some DLC in the future for Mario Odyssey. It's not like the worlds are super heavily integrated with one another, so they can easily add more stuff. They're saying that Luigi will be released the same day and add 70 unique moons to the game. Wario and Waluigi are apparently also being made playable characters with 70 moons each as well. I don't know if I believe that one as much, Wario and Waluigi, but
Nintendo, I will buy the game again if Waluigi's playable.
Yes.
Yeah. Why DLC? I mean, just make it Odyssey 2. Like,
just Odyssey 2, but with the Wah edition.
Wow.
No, you don't have to call it Mario Odyssey. You just call it Waluigi Odyssey.
Got Wario. Dang it. I don't know how to do that. Just Wario Odyssey.
Wario
Odyssey.
Wario Odyssey.
Oh my gosh. 10 out of 10.
The next thing is that Activision will make some announcements, including a Crash Bandicoot amiibo that's harder time trial modes, the Insane Trilogy, and will have some sort of functionality with the Spyro Trilogy. Okay. Black Ops 4 Battle Royale is coming to Switch. Sega's going to reveal their Sega Ages line for the West, and two of the games are the first two Sonic Adventure games. Okay.
That would be lovely.
That'd be great. Supersonic Racing is revealed and takes inspiration from Sonic R, with some characters like Sonic running on their own while characters like Tails use vehicles. All right. Next is Metroid Prime 4 gameplay trailer with a launch date window of 2019. Pokemon for Switch is revealed. It's a new take on Red and Blue and features graphics that are midway between Sun and Moon and Pokken. All right. And apparently Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to Switch.
Oh no.
And then two trailers for Smash Bros. Are the last ones. One reveals Captain Toad, and the other reveals Crash and Spyro. That's why they've been quiet about the Switch version of the trilogies, because that's going to be the big reveal, apparently. And then Ice Climbers are also going to be revealed during the Treehouse Live.
If Crash Bandicoot does get a trailer and is in Smash Bros., for the love of God, Nintendo, the trailer has to be Crash Bandicoot outside the headquarters of Nintendo of America screaming on a microphone. And then the blow up costumes of Mario, Donkey Kong, Pikachu, and Yoshi from the original Smash Bros. Commercial running out and beating him up.
Just kill him.
Oh my gosh.
It would just be too perfect.
This just in, somebody on Twitter leaked the Treehouse lineup.
That's what I was talking about. Some guy apparently has the printed sheet of everything that's going to be shown at the video showcase, whatever. It's like, really? You have it all printed out on a piece of paper? Really?
The printouts are always fake. Just move on.
Yeah. Anyway, it basically is a lot of the same stuff, except Punch Out Become the Champion is listed there as well. So there you go, Skylar. Maybe a Punch Out.
That's a wish list item.
Yep. So
watch it be
lots
true.
of rumors.
Well, we are in the month leading up to E3, so there's going to be a lot of rumors.
Yep.
Most of them are always fake.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this one that was posted is that days before the Nintendo Online service came out, they predicted the exact day it was going to come out, and then a whole bunch of information about the Nintendo Online service that was pretty much all correct. But for all we know, they could have added extra stuff in there to make it look credible, and that is just someone who had access to the website early to the online service.
Right. We'll see if that stuff comes. May or may not. Who knows? Nintendo does, but they're not telling us. Ha.
I don't even know if Nintendo does.
Yeah.
They seem to just be making it up as they go.
Isn't that just what Nintendo does? I'm just kidding.
Whatever you do, don't
just
promise
look at their
Mother 3.
online service that they just posted. It's a complete joke.
Yeah. Ugh.
All right, well, let's move on to our next topic, which is the stuff that Retro has been apparently doing. The new game that they're doing. Again, we're still getting close to E3, so take this with a grain of salt until Nintendo actually announce it. So the latest rumor for Retro Studios is that their next game is called Star Fox Grand Prix. It'll be a racing game that some people are describing as a mix between Diddy Kong Racing and the sci-fi-ish aspects of F-Zero, but, you know, with Star Fox characters, Star Fox, R-Wings, that kind of stuff. So that'll be kind of fun. I don't know. What do you guys think about that one?
It's just crazy enough that it could be true. I would be kind of disappointed just because I really hate racing games. That's just me.
Just in Star Fox Command, they're going to make the canon ending the one where F-Zero becomes a thing in their universe. That's literally one of the endings in Star Fox Command, is that Fox and Falco leave Star Fox and they go start racing in the F-Zero Grand Prix. So there you go.
It's canon.
It's canon. It's the canon ending. Thank goodness it's not the cursed ending, because that one sucks.
So, of course, there are people all over the internet that are incredibly skeptical about this and are not very excited about it and whatnot. But I have seen a lot of people argue saying, hey, remember when you probably weren't around for this, but in 97, when Rare announced that they were making Diddy Kong Racing, people were really skeptical about that and didn't think it'd be great. And a lot of people absolutely love and adore that game, and it turned out really well. So if Rare could do a weird thing with Donkey Kong and make a good racing game out of it, I'm sure Retro can do the same with Star Fox. I mean, in all honesty, I would prefer to have a new F-Zero game for Switch or a new Star Fox game for Switch that's actually good. Instead of this, but yeah.
We don't even know if these would be good or not. Like, just saying because it's a racing game, the game wouldn't be good. I'm pretty sure Retro would have some really creative spins to it. They would it would be really, really well polished. It might even end up being one of the best Star Fox games, to be honest, with their level of quality control that they push out. But I want a more streamlined Star Fox game. If this were to come out, I would hope it's more Star Fox than racing. So let me shoot down my opponents or the other racers. Let me shoot down things coming out of the stage like asteroids and stuff.
Yeah.
And then this could give me the rail shooter that I've always wanted Star Fox to be, and not like Star Fox Zero, where it was a bit too open air for a lot of their missions.
It's an on-rails racing game, Star Fox Grand Prix.
Yeah. Just be an on-rails Star Fox game where it's all just going as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I think that sounds great, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I hate racing games, so...
There you go.
But racing games where you can shoot people, now that.
That's innovative.
If I can pretend that it's not a racing game, then I'm on board.
You just got last place. I don't care. I killed like 8 people.
So I didn't get last place. I got at least 8 ahead of everyone else I killed.
They're all dead.
That's
there's some sort of revive system.
That's a F-Zero that's F-Zero GX. You can kill people in that game and just take their place.
That's true.
So
my definite reaction to this was like, what in the world? Like, because of all the things that I didn't expect this to come out of Retro, and I'm not the one that say, 4 years for this game is like, I'm never gonna assume develop time for any kind of game.
It took 4 years for Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I think Retro just takes a long time with their games now in general.
But they can do what they want. They can take the time that they want. You know, it's their choice. As long as they enjoy what they're doing, I don't have a qualm with it. It was just the concept at first, the kind of, you know, taking Star Fox and putting it into a racing game. It just seemed like it, you know, this is a last resort kind of thing. But perhaps you know, being Retro, maybe they just had this idea and they felt that the Star Fox universe would work great with it. And so that's how they're integrating it into it. And, you know, the rumors say that it'll feature a hub world or a kind of open hub world and adventure mode with boss battles. A lot of that sounds really great. So I'm looking at it optimistically, but I was definitely taken aback at first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it with that kind of stuff, it really sounds like Diddy Kong Racing, but with a new cast of characters in a different universe, you know? Like, Diddy Kong Racing was just so fun to me. It had that open hub world that these rumors are saying that it had, with an adventure mode of sorts and boss battles. You know, you'd race against bosses and you'd have to shoot them and stuff with like missiles or something to slow them down so you could actually win. And that was so fun that I think that Retro, if this is a real game, of course, will do a fantastic job with it and just make it a lot of fun. And I mean, the Switch has been full of some pretty crazy surprises, you know, some of these indie games that have been huge hits. Some of them we didn't expect. And of course, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That was like, what? You're going to throw in Rabbids with Mario? And it worked out really well.
That's the thing. Like, some people were saying, well, this is just like Mario and Rabbids, when everyone freaked out when that came out, but it turned out to be good. That's a little different because with Star Fox, F-Zero, that kind of makes a little more sense. And I guess racing it, I mean, while it was surprising, it's not like too crazy. But putting Mario and Rabbids together in a RPG, that was like, what? No way. That sounds as like someone's like fever dream or something like that.
And it was, and it came true.
But it came true. And that's true. So I don't know. I guess people comparing it to that, I just like, I don't know. I don't think it's comparable.
My biggest issue with all this is we're basically getting a spin-off Star Fox game when the series does not feel very healthy. It doesn't feel like it's in a very healthy state after having no games for, what was it, almost 10 years. We got Star Fox Zero. It was controversial. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think if I were to go back, I'd probably knock it down to 5. But I don't think this is the time for something like this. And I really hope that we don't end up with another Federation Force situation on our hands this E3.
All I know is
I could even see Retro leaking this information out early, just sort of like pad out like the expectations going into E3.
Yeah.
This isn't our best work. Please forgive us.
Well, no.
Well, not that, but just that fans can be pretty brutal.
Yeah. Like kind of prepare, like, if they got into E3 and didn't even hear this, perhaps the rioting would be a lot louder than if they are kind of expecting it going in, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it is also Retro too, and they do a really good job of reviving series. So this is like their forte, right? So
in Retro, I trust. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic game, and I'll definitely be getting it.
Did you say in Retro we trust?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not wrong.
Is that a Nintendo slogan?
I'm naming the episode In Retro We Trust. All right. Thanks, Jordan. But on top of that, some other rumors have been circulating around. These ones aren't as predominant and big with Retro. And it's that they had a game that they were working on for a couple of years, and then they canceled the project. We have no idea what it was, but I mean, if they were working on something else before Star Fox Grand Prix, that's like, you know, a 2 to 3 year development window for this game. I wish I knew what the project was, but I guess it was bad enough or not interesting enough that they canceled it. And then somebody else,
probably Ravenblade again.
Yeah. Yeah. But then somebody else mentioned that they've been consulting with some other Nintendo property, maybe Grezzo or something, I don't know, on bringing Metroid Prime Trilogy to the Switch. Now, that is my dream come true. Before Metroid Prime 4 actually happens, I would love to have the trilogy on my Switch. I think it'd be excellent, but I don't really trust this rumor.
I do.
You know, it's not nearly as big, but anyway, what?
I think it's kind of needed for Nintendo to do this.
No, I
think
totally agree.
Metroid Prime 4 is coming out next year. They have to release the trilogy in HD this year. There's so many people that have a Switch that have never touched a Metroid Prime game.
Yeah, fair
True.
point.
That's really true. Yeah.
Even if they just like release it digitally, like it just has to get onto the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
At least by next E3.
I totally agree.
I don't know if it would be Grezzo. Grezzo seems to just kind of be like the go-to porting studio in Nintendo.
I mean, they're doing Luigi's Mansion on 3DS, so...
Yeah, that's what kind of like... I don't know. Would they be doing Luigi's Mansion and Prime Trilogy at the same time?
Would they even be doing the Prime Trilogy justice?
Oh, Grezzo? I mean, I don't know. Like, I would love to have Retro on there, but, you know...
All they would really need to do is clean up the game, fix up some textures and character models if they're making it HD, and then just add back in support for, you know, non-motion control controls. Like,
I think the biggest issue would be Metroid Prime 3, converting that from
right, because
controls
it had so many Wii remote motion stuff, like turning all those locks and yanking on the stick for the grapple pole.
Yeah, the
or
grapple
whatever.
beam. Like, it was part of the combat, effectively.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they'll have to keep the motion control system in place because there are people who prefer that over dual sticks.
I mean, I'd prefer both. Like, I'd love both, but...
I mean, technically, the GameCube ones didn't even use dual sticks, did they?
No, they didn't.
So would they use the GameCube style controls for the Switch, or would they convert more towards a traditional shooter style control scheme now that it's been 2 decades?
Yeah, that's interesting because I guess they could have the minus button with the stick if you hold the minus button and then push the stick to switch your beams in Prime 1 and Prime 2. Because the second stick, all it did was switch the beams that you were using. So maybe they'll map that to something else. I don't know. Because let's see, shoot is A, jump is B, morph ball was X. What did Y do? I don't even remember. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling, but no, yeah, they'd have to change up quite a bit on the control area then, unless they're going for the GameCube style. I don't know.
Well, here's something. Sorry, going back to the Grezzo thing. Has Grezzo ported anything into HD?
Well, they up-resed Ocarina of Time, if that counts.
And Majora's Mask.
And Majora's Mask. So HD, no, but they have taken a low poly game and made it look a lot better.
Right.
And honestly, I think
I was
they did
talking
an
about the
excellent
HD,
job.
so I don't know.
Making
like
an HD game, no, they haven't.
Yeah. So perhaps that's an obstacle for them. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how much experience.
It'll be that hard.
Yeah. But
and if they do run into issues, there are competent studios that are perfectly willing to be consultants.
That's true. That's
like
true.
Retro.
Yeah.
Or Monolith Studios.
Yeah. So anyway, those are basically the retro rumors. All we know is that Retro, every year there's always this big rumor about what Retro has been working on, and I guess this is it this year. And we'll have to wait until E3 itself to find out if that's really what they've been up to. So,
well, what's interesting is this isn't even the first time that they've been rumored to be doing Star Fox. Because years ago, before Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, the big rumor was that we were getting a Star Fox cross Metroid game. So I wonder if this might be sharing some assets from a game like that, and that was actually because I believe the ending of the rumor after years, even after Tropical Freeze, was that game was actually canceled in the end.
Oh,
so maybe that's the canceled game they're talking about right now. It was the Metroid Star Fox that got canceled, and they just moved the assets to a racing Star Fox game.
Interesting. I would love to hear the development cycle of this game, like after it's all said and done.
The problem is I don't think we'll ever hear about the development cycle.
That's what I hate.
Unless we start getting the Iwata
secretive.
Asks stuff again. You know how Iwata always had those. He did all of those interviews with a lot of developers and stuff, and would just ask like big questions.
But they never go into like too deep details.
Right. But who knows? Maybe the new Nintendo president will start doing a few things like that. I think that'd be really cool. But I don't know. It's Nintendo. They're really secretive about a lot of things. So I don't know. Well, is there anything else to add to these rumors and the discussion we've had with the rumors today so far?
Can I get a Fire Emblem, please?
Yeah, please.
I'm pretty sure Fire Emblem's coming out this year. They already said it was coming out 2018.
I know, but it was so long ago.
Don't worry, James.
I predict October.
You'll
be Fire Emblem month.
You'll get your Fire Emblem hit.
My waifu emblem.
Yes.
Waifu emblem.
Now including Nephany.
Oh no. Oh yes.
Yeah, all I want from E3, and we'll probably do an E3 expectations episode in the very near future as we approach, but I need Fire Emblem, and I want more Smash info if Smash is actually coming out this year, and Metroid Prime 4, but we could talk about that another day.
What do you mean if Smash is actually coming out this year?
Dude,
They already said it's coming out.
They're super dead set on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised. No offense to anybody, but I'm surprised if you don't think it's coming out this year. I mean, like, delays happen, I guess, but I don't know. They seem pretty.
Honestly,
pretty
I'd be perfectly fine if they don't talk about Smash until a month before its release. And then we just don't know anything.
It's like,
Yeah, and then we'd actually have secret characters, and I'd win points.
Fair enough.
The anti brawl hype train.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Opposite brawl.
It's coming, but we're not telling you what.
It just like drops and nobody realizes it came out, and only the people with pre-orders actually get it day one.
Yeah. It's just like,
Shows
oh, there
up
it
in your
is.
mail. Wow, what is this?
Whoa, crap! Smash Bros.
Yeah, it's a port. Just kidding.
Smash Bros for Switch. It's the same box art. How devious! And they even have less characters because they couldn't get Cloud back in.
Oh, don't tease me like that. Just kidding.
This is the worst present ever.
Thanks, Nintendo. Well, I guess that'll do it for our retro rumors and our other rumors for Pokemon and all that stuff. So thanks for listening to that. Let's move on to what we've been playing this week. I'll just start by saying I've been playing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze quite a bit. I assume that you guys have been too, at least a bit. I'm really loving it. It's a lot of fun. I played through a little bit of it when it was on the Wii U, but I never really got into it. And then all of a sudden, all my memories of Donkey Kong Country Returns were like flooding back. And I'm like, hey, I love these games. And so I just finished World 3. I was gone all last week at a convention. So my time to play games has been really sparse the last few weeks. So there's that. But I'm loving the challenge levels that I've been unlocking, and I really like how Dixie and Cranky just add this whole like extra level of both versatility and difficulty at some points. Because man, is it hard when you get Cranky on those like really precise platforming levels where you're grabbing onto stuff. You press A and you're going straight down. It's not good.
My big issue with Dixie Kong is that she kind of makes Diddy Kong useless.
Yeah.
Well,
Everything Diddy Kong can do, she can do
I
better.
know. Dixie's the best.
yeah, Dixie
Kong actually gets more length than Diddy Kong even does.
Yeah.
How would I use Diddy when I could just use Dixie? I don't.
She's got lift and length.
Yeah. No, yeah, I love these new Kongs. They're great.
Although I never used
a lot of
Cranky
fun.
either.
Yeah.
I use Cranky sometimes. He's more useful in certain boss fights. Like
really?
Polar Bear is better with Cranky Kong than Dixie because you can bounce on top of his hammer
That's true.
when it's up with the spikes.
Oh. I should have done that.
Yeah, Cranky's just a little more situational.
Yeah, I agree.
But 9 times out of 10, you should just choose Dixie Kong. She's by far the strongest of the 3 Kongs.
Yeah. Except that her screech when you enter a level can kind of get to you after a while, I think. Very high pitched. It's like, whoa, Dixie, you want to calm that down a little bit? I love you, girl, but you don't have to scream in my ear every time we get into a level.
If you want to play all the characters and beyond, you play Funky Kong. He's the most broken thing. ever.
Yeah, I played one level of him. I was like, I'm done. This is it makes the game too easy.
Well, he makes the water levels a joke too. He puts on a snorkel and the water meter doesn't even come up.
I'm telling you guys.
I don't think I ever had a problem with the water meter and the water levels.
Yeah.
Me neither. But like
they're.
I don't think you played the water world where you literally have just like a giant freaking maze to go through with water, and there's no and there's no checkpoints.
I know for a fact I didn't play that one because
that one's a bonus level. You have to get through it through some special means.
Yeah,
I know I played through all the levels in Tropical on the Wii U.
That level is freaking terrible. So hard. But, whatever. I finished all the levels, got all the Kong letters, got all the stuff, got all the puzzle pieces.
Did you do all the time trials?
No, I have not. I deliberately am not doing time trials or hard mode because I'm not a masochist. This game's already hard enough.
Yeah, you need 100% hard mode, Skylar. What are you, casual?
I don't know, man. My screen says 100% already, so...
You casual scum.
Super casual scum. All right, you guys can get all the puzzles, and then you can get all the Kong letters and beat all the super stages, and then yeah. If you get further than me, I will acknowledge it.
Okay. All right, so all I have to do is catch up to you and then do one time trial, and then you'll acknowledge.
I've already done a time trial.
Okay, 2 time trials.
I'm working on time trials. It's just freaking hard.
Yeah. But I am very glad that they brought Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze to the Switch. I know a lot of people were like, but you could get it for the Wii U and it was cheap. It's like, but I like having it on the go in my hands. And I don't know. I like
having load screens that don't take 10 years.
Yes. Good point.
True.
So, yeah. I also have been playing a bit more of Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia. I forgot that I have to still beat it. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add other than what I've said in other episodes. It's very, very good. The voice acting is excellent. And whoever did the voice direction for that game should just be hired for all of Nintendo's projects for voice acting. Like, it's excellent. Holy cow.
Yea, verily.
Either that or they could hire Sam Riegel. I'm fine with both of those guys. But, no, yeah, the combat's really fun. Yes, Skylar, I finally got to the point where snipers really suck. And so you got to grind them up to get them to be archers on horses, whatever their class is called.
Yeah.
So bow knight. Yeah, they get a lot better as bow knights.
Yeah, I just junked archers. I turned everybody into dread fighters and the sages.
General? Oh.
Those are like the two I used. I dropped everything else. Those are the only two things I used for the whole game. Everybody who could reclass to a dreadnought, boom, dread fighter. It's like they just tank like forever and they do so much damage.
Right. No. I finally got to the point where somebody could be classed up to a dread fighter, and I'm like, holy cow! I need to do this right now to everybody. go grind them.
Yeah. If you want to know the secret to beating Shadows of Valentia. Without fighters. Too much difficulty, all dread fighters.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, other than the Splatfest, which is really fun this week. Yeah, it's going to be. Oh crap! It's
Isn't it?
I think it's Raph and Dawn.
Yeah, Donnie. Raph and Dawn.
Dawn all the way.
Go Dawn.
Dawn all the way.
Yeah.
Man,
Donnie all the way, my dudes.
You guys are losers. Totally.
Heck no.
He's the purple nerd. I love that boy.
Dude,
man,
he's great.
Bow staff for days.
So annoying in the TV show when I was a kid. It was
bow staff.
Raph
but he has
cool
the best
one.
weapon in the NES game.
He does.
You got me there.
This is why I always use Donatello in that game. He's so freaking great. He's OP.
Yeah. No, but Raphael, man, I felt like he was the only one who actually grew or did anything, and then Leo was always like, I'm the leader.
And Mikey is just dumb.
Yeah, Mikey was dumb. He was funny. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, so this week, the Saturday, probably before this episode goes out, it'll be the showdown between Raph and Donnie. So
cool. So I've just been playing Tropical Freeze while I'm trying to beat the game. It's kicking my butt, but and I'll be honest, I understand it's a great game, and it is, and it deserves all the praise. I guess platformers are not my favorite type of game, but I still enjoy them, and I'm still having a great time with Tropical Freeze. It's a good challenge. But they're not my favorite type of game. That's just something that I've kind of come to grips with since playing this game. But partly because I suck at them. I am getting better. But I've definitely given up getting all the puzzle pieces. That's just beyond me unless I spend hours trying.
Well, I don't like getting the puzzle pieces just because they kind of break up the action.
They really do.
Like, you have these really tight knit action pack, really well designed levels, and then you have these bonus levels that just feel completely flying in the face of the entire design of the level.
Yeah.
So I've stopped doing it just because I got annoyed with kind of being broken up. Like, I want to be in this groove. I want to be able to like be running through this at a brisk pace and just having lots of fast time or reactions and all that. And the puzzle pieces just slow that down.
That's my problem with the game, because I have this stupid completionist meter going off in my head. It's like, there's a puzzle piece there. Go get it. I was like, but I can't have fun with the game. No, go get it. Go get it right now. You're going to get all this stupid artwork and you're going to get all these stupid final levels. It's like,
You
okay,
can't even trust yourself.
I got all this stuff, I guess, but do I feel good about it? Probably not. That's probably why I don't like Tropical Freeze as much as Donkey Kong Country Returns, the first one. Just because the levels...
Isn't Returns more egregious for that reason?
No,
because Tropical Freeze, in Returns, all the puzzle pieces, I believe, were in extra levels, right?
No, absolutely not.
Freeze,
no. No.
Yeah, but Tropical Freeze has fewer extra levels for all of
No.
pieces.
The only extra level you get is via the Kong letters.
Well, not extra levels. That's not what I mean. I mean the bonus stages.
Yeah. Bonus stage.
They have more puzzle pieces in the actual level where you don't need to like leave the level to go get the puzzle piece. They're just like, hit this like banana and then you get a puzzle piece. Like, the puzzle pieces are more on the beaten path in
DKCR. There's one bonus level per stage. In DKCR Tropical Freeze, there's two. Okay. There are more in Tropical Freeze. And Tropical Freeze's levels are twice as long, so if you want to collect all the puzzle pieces and you miss one, you have a bigger level to go back through. I hate that so much. Because if you're trying to complete a game, you want it to be quicker, simpler, and a little bit more easy to access. Which DKCR, the first one, I felt better getting all the stuff in that game. And you didn't have to find secret exits either. Tropical Freeze has tons of those. For some people, they like that. For me, a couple of them are difficult, but not too difficult. I just don't like replaying stages a bunch of times.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm in the camp that actually likes that kind of thing, but I get where you're coming from.
I don't know. I think the levels in Tropical Freeze are just better well designed, and you don't have motion controls cramming down your throat.
Yeah, it's just too bad that I had to wait until the second world to get a Rocket Barrel level. I freaking love those levels. I'm
gonna be honest, man. They're not my favorite. I definitely like the minecart more.
And
which game had the Rocket Barrel level with the giant bat?
That's the first one. That's Returns.
That's the first one.
Yeah, that's.
Dang it! Because I went through all of Tropical Freeze. Like, that's my favorite level. Like, I can't wait till I get to play it again.
What you secretly didn't know, Jordan, is that the first one is your favorite game.
I love Returns. I really do.
But yeah, I just played on the 3DS. You don't have the motion control problem.
But then you have like lower res.
Oh, I mean, for going from Wii to 3DS isn't too big of a drop.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I still like Tropical Freeze more. The levels as a whole just feel more
alive.
I don't know, alive. And I like how every level's like sort of like bleeding into this sort of narrative, like the fruit world, where you see that one level's about them collecting the fruits, and the next level's about them dicing the fruits, the next level's about juicing the fruits, and then they're freezing the fruits, and then you find the polar bear and you knock away his popsicle and you're the villain.
Yep. No, the fruit world's my favorite. The water world I hate. I don't like water
I love
world.
The water world.
I don't like water world. But
because they made water actually fun in Tropical Freeze, unlike Returns, because you can do like
there
the
aren't
spin
any
thing.
Water levels in Returns.
No, you're right.
And I'm fine with that. I am 100% okay with that.
I don't know. I think they got the water world they got it pretty good.
I mean, it's okay.
I never feel like I'm slowed down in the water, or that I'm vulnerable.
I feel very.
And the controls feel really, really tight. You can get some really slick movement.
I only feel vulnerable after I do a dash.
Well, just don't stop dashing. Don't get hurt and have a partner, and you can dash nonstop.
I guess.
Be good.
Just get good, and everything's all right.
Get good, son.
But no, I don't know. I also really like the mechanical rhythm kind of level that they had in the first game, where they had the hammers coming down, and they hit the stage, and you had to time your jumps to bounce to the beats and the pounding. I just really like that world, but.
I have no rhythm. So.
Wait, Tropical Freeze is not a bad game. This game is not made for completionists. That's all I have to say. If you just,
I don't think Returns was either, though.
That's
why I'm so confused, because it doesn't seem like it's that much different. Like the time trials are still just egregious. When was the last time you 100%ed Returns?
The when it first came out, probably.
So
I even did the time trials.
It's not just like nostalgia is clouding your vision.
I played it recently again. I just didn't 100% it again. In fact, I did it with that week that we had to move apartments.
Oh, that's right. I do remember him saying.
I'm just saying, like, the completionist just had a recent video come out where he went through Returns again, and all the stuff you're saying that's bad about Tropical Freeze, he said about Returns.
Well, maybe I guess
it was all
maybe
there.
They both suck then.
Yeah.
They're both good games. They're not made for the completionists that don't like, I don't know, going through levels a gazillion times.
See, it makes me feel a lot better when I don't collect all the puzzle pieces. Thank you, guys.
You're
welcome, James.
That's the problem too, though.
There's really no reward to get the
if you
puzzle
don't get all the Kong letters, you can't get all the levels, and if you don't beat all the levels, then you can't get hard mode.
Now,
yeah, but the Kong letters are all just there in the beaten path.
Right.
Like,
That's true.
I've had no trouble getting Kong letters.
There's only one that I could not find in a certain level. But besides that, I've been able to find them all. And this is me we're talking about. So if I can find them, then yeah. I mean, not saying not saying that you were having an issue with that, but just saying that I find the Kong levels are at a you know, a very low level type of collection, and they're good for Tropical Freeze, and you don't need to have or collect all the puzzle pieces. But anyway,
Jordan, what else have you been playing?
Moving on to Tropical Freeze again.
Oh my!
I'll keep Tropical Freeze real short, but I wasn't going to get it just because I already have it for the Wii U. But then when I heard that the loading times are a lot better and that its buttery smooth frame rates are a lot better, it's a higher resolution, I was like, all right, and it's portable. I love this game. It's probably one of the best games on the Wii U, so I'll pick it up again, and I'm enjoying it. And I've gotten a few friends who want to borrow it, so I don't know, spreading the love of Tropical Freeze.
you good man, you.
Cool. Way to go. We need more people like you in this world.
Good old Danky King, Tropical Freeze. Spread that love.
So Tropical Freeze is great. I really like it. If you didn't pick it up on the Wii U and don't own a Wii U, pick it up on Switch. It's really good. If you have a Wii U and you don't have it, you'll have to sit on the fence. I don't know. Wait till a deal comes out for the Switch version, I guess. It really shouldn't have been $60. When the game came out for the Wii U, it was $50. I remember getting it day one and being like, wow, this is only $50 compared to every other game that's $60.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it shouldn't have been 50. It should have been 60 when it first came out. But anyway.
I think it should have been 40 now. I think they did 50 when it came out because there was a lot of people that were upset that Nintendo was pushing out yet another platformer.
Interesting.
And so I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a lot of controversy going around with Tropical Freeze because people were pretty upset that they were doing Tropical Freeze instead of Metroid Prime 4. Yeah. So anyway, played a lot of Tropical Freeze. I'm on the last world. It's a lot shorter than I remember it being. I was kind of disappointed with how short it was.
It's really long if you collect the puzzle pieces. Like too long.
So then the other game I was playing, I picked up Endless Legend, which if you don't know what that is, it's like Civilization. If you know what that is, then go Google it.
I love Civ. Civ's such a fun game.
Yeah. So Endless Legend, it's kind of a more fantasy-based Civilization. And what I really enjoy about it is that they make all the races actually unique, whereas Civilization, your boat is just like +1 attack or whatever. It's like there's almost no difference in Civilization. Whereas in Endless Legend, they completely designed their races for each different type of play style. So it's a lot more interesting.
Ooh.
I think the combat in Endless Legend is garbage, though. It's Fire Emblem, but you don't get to choose where your units go. You just hope the AI goes to the right spot. It never
I
does.
love that.
90% of the time.
10 out of 10.
But the rest of the game is pretty great. I like playing as the Broken Lords, which are basically these vampire-like races that suck the life energy out of everyone and then consumes that, because life energy is what replaces gold in this universe.
Nice. I want to be a vampire lord.
So you're just constantly filling up like your resources on gold. You don't even need to care about food, and then you just buy every upgrade out of pocket. You don't have to do a whole lot of, I don't know. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Endless Legend.
Cool.
Good game.
PC?
Yeah.
Nice.
It would. These kind of games do not work on console.
Got it.
They're like turn-based RTS games.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What have you been up to, Skylar?
So there was this game called Poi that came out the same week as Mario Odyssey.
Oh,
But it is also a 3D platformer. So it just got like shanked on all fronts. So,
That sucks.
but I found it in the bargain bin at Walmart for $10.
really?
So I was like, oh, cool, physical cartridge, $10. Sure enough, online it's going for 30, and then sure enough on the eShop it's 30 as well. I've never seen a deal for this game. So I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll pick it up. And I played it through. I got everything, 100%ed it now. It's fun. It's definitely not as good as Mario Odyssey for sure, and it would definitely get just blindsided by it. But I think it's around like a 7 or an 8. It reminds me a lot of a mixture between Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64, and Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. So,
Oh, wow.
which is,
Yeah, the graphic style reminds me quite a bit of a like even more like cartoony Hat in Time. Honestly.
yeah, it's very Hat and Timey. Like you can do a roll thing and then jump, and you get this huge long jump thing. You can double jump in the air. You can dive and stuff. It's really cool. I enjoyed it. It's on the easy side though, for sure. Like Poi is super easy, but they have a new game plus mode where if you 100% the game, you can play through it again on hard mode. Essentially, you get one life. And the stages are all mirrored like Mario Kart, or a Twilight Princess. Essentially, which I thought was really cool. A really good addition. And the costumes are pretty crappy. Like they're just color swaps. They're like make these big deal about these costumes, and they're just like, yeah, it just switched colors. But I guess I'll play as Green Girl now or Green Boy now. So, but I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad I paid $10 for it. I really can't see anybody. I don't think anyone should pick it up for 30. 10 and maybe cheaper might be a good price point for it. Just playing it personally.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun if you're in the mood for another 3D platformer. And it also beats Ukulele, but that's not saying much. So, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, I guess that'll do it for us this week, folks. Thank you so much for listening to the Virtual Boys podcast. We'd like to thank you for joining us in the episode. Your support means a ton.
I'd like to give a shout out to Skylar, our co-host, for composing our intro music and our outro music. He's a talented dude. Check out his SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/SkyTar with a 5.
And I'd like to shout out to our patrons, Chris, Chase, and Ratmvp. Your support means a ton. If you want to support the show, head to patreon.com/NintenCity. We're actually planning on doing a bonus episode of the podcast each month just for our patrons. If you want to get access to those, head over to patreon.com/NintenCity now.
Yeah, and we'll probably record that bonus episode next week or something. It'll be out, we promise.
And I'd like to invite you to join our Discord community. We're trying to set up a fun place for people to visit and hang out. Head to nintendo.city/Discord to join us today. If you support us on Patreon, you'll get access to some special chats on our Discord as well. Just like we were talking about the Pokémon today, and we were making funny jokes about Sonic Hedgehog this past week. We like some Sonic jokes. Oh, that poor creature.
Don't forget to check out Yeah, gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Don't forget to check out our YouTube page. We have some great content on there. Obviously, we have the Daisy Waluigi video. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out, please. But this week, we'll have a new Fire Emblem video talking about Fire Emblem Switch. So look forward to that. If you like what you see, give us a little subscribe.
And again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Virtual Boys podcast this week. Don't forget to subscribe and rate to the show on iTunes. And we'd also like to remind you to check out our website at nintendcity.com, where you can find news, show notes, and more. This week's show notes will be available at nintend.city/EP99. Man, crazy we're at the 99s. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
See ya.
Goodbye, you good people.